on this computer. Okay. Perfect. All right. So y'all, this call is specifically designed for two things. Number one, it's to help people go gold, because I realized that, at least from my standpoint, like, I don't know what y'all all do on Meredith's team. Y'all probably have something awesome, but on my team, I realized that people were, that we were working with leaders, but we weren't really providing training to people that were needing to learn the basics. Okay. And so I really wanted I wanted a way to teach people the basics. And because there's a lot that I have learned. One of the things I'm super excited about this is, oh, my dog is trying to eat a spider. It's really funny. One of the things I'm really excited about this is that I know how to recruit. And I know how to post. I know how to recruit. I know how to do the basics. And I can teach the basics really, really well. And that's how we all grow, is by helping other people learn the basics. And so I was like, so how can I use what I'm good at and my experience to help the rest of you guys? So that's number one. Like, I'm really excited to use this as a way to teach people that are new how to grow to gold, because I didn't really feel like we had a good thing for that. We don't even we have the VIP chats, but I still feel like newer people don't even always feel comfortable asking their questions in those, because it's not just newer people, understandably, because it's older people, anyway, experienced people too. But secondly, what the other thing about this call is that I think we all need help focusing on developing gold leader legs. Corporate's really shifted to this lately, but also I feel like anytime we're thinking about ranking up, like if I just told you, you need 100 people on your team to go Ruby, that makes you want to puke, probably. Like, I don't want to think about having to get 100 people to go Ruby. Just for example of what I'm dealing with, like, I am right at Sapphire. I need 1,500 points to re-rank Diamond, because I want to have a nice room on that cruise. I want y'all on it, and I want to have like a really nice room, because I really like cruises. Okay. But I'm like 1,500 points. Oh my gosh. But then I was like, wait. That just means that I need to get Jeremy to Emerald, because he's at 500, and that's like 750. That's half of that. And then I need like this many of these different levels. Okay. So tell me what sounds better. I need 100 people to go Ruby, or I need 4 gold legs, or I need 2 senior golds. And if you're trying to go senior gold, what sounds better? I need 50 people, or I need 2 gold legs. That's so much better, so much easier. And so I think that if we are, and the things that I need to be doing to get, to create new gold leader legs are the exact same things that new people trying to go to gold need to be doing. And so that's why we can do this, and it'll be exciting. All right. So first of all, I want you to think about each week, I'm going to remind you that you are either going for gold. I see, okay, Tanya's not gold yet. I see Tanya on here. And I think everybody else on here has gone gold. All right. So, but Tanya, you will not, like, there's other people. Angelica's watching the recording. So you guys watching the recording, there'll be some of y'all that are not yet gold. So if you are not yet gold, you are your gold leader leg that you're developing right now. Okay. And if you are already gold, then you are identifying someone that is your next gold leader leg that you're developing. So you're either developing yourself or you're developing somebody else. Now, but you might be like, Aubrey, maybe you have somebody that you're developing right now. I would say Angelica can be one of my gold leader legs that I'm working on developing. She'll be listening to this recording. I have a couple of others. So you need people in your head that can be your gold leader leg that you are working on developing. Okay. If you do not have that, let's break that down. Do you have someone you're working on developing to senior silver? Okay. If you have that. Now, you may be like Tanya, Tanya's working on developing herself to senior silver. She is her senior silver development. Okay. Then she's going to be working on developing herself to gold. And then she'll be working on developing her gold leader legs. Okay. So you start with gold, then go down to senior silver. If you don't have anybody you're developing to senior silver, that's okay. We got to start somewhere. I mean, if you had a bunch of gold leader legs, you'd be ruby or senior ruby or emerald, right? Okay, so let's go back to, so after senior silver, what's before that? That would be silver. So if maybe you don't have somebody that you feel like is going for gold right now, that's okay. Maybe you don't have somebody you feel like is going for senior silver right now, that's okay. Who do you have that you're helping go silver? Now, that needs to be something. I don't want you to be identifying this person as your silver that you're working on if you have not had a conversation with them and y'all have not discussed that they are working towards silver. They don't count if it's just you want them to go silver. Like I could count Angelica because I know that this month she's going for senior silver. And then after that, she does want to go gold. Okay. But you don't want to count somebody unless you've had a conversation, because you are trying to develop gold leader legs. You're not trying to develop people that go gold by sharing an affiliate link. That's different. Now, will you have some people that go gold by just posting on Facebook and they get 10 to 20 people? Yes, but that's literally just like you signing 100 people to get to Ruby. So you want to have a conversation with these people. Ideally, you'd get their permission to work towards silver, whether you call it their first referral bonus or you call it their $300 referral bonus. You don't have to call it silver. They don't have to have business buy-in at that point, but they need to add 3 people buy-in, okay? They need to be on the same page as you as far as they're wanting to sign 3 people and make that $300 referral bonus. Then after they hit silver, that's when you need to have a conversation about, hey, that was cool. What do you think about going for the next bonus level? What do you think about that? Because what you're not trying to do is just help them sign people all the way to gold for you to take care of. You're trying to develop gold leader legs. Okay. Now, let's say you don't even have anybody that's willing to work for silver right now. That's totally okay because you can't control the people. But guess who you can control? You can control you. And so if you don't have somebody that has agreed to go for silver, then we're going to work on who can you get to share? Because the general flow of things for almost everybody is buy products, share, have a little interest, go silver. Then some of those people go on to senior silver and gold, okay? So you want to look at who you've got and always be purposefully trying to identify your next sharer and your next potential gold leader leg, okay? So you're going to look at, for your potential gold leader legs, you're going to look at people who have characteristics that make them good fits for your gold leader legs. You also want to be that person and have those characteristics yourself of a person that could be a good gold leader leg. You need to be that person and then look for that person. And like attracts like. So when you're being that person and having those positive qualities, you're going to be more likely to attract those people. So here is a Q&A part. So this is discussion. What's a quality that would be beneficial in a gold leader leg? What do you think? There's really no wrong answers unless you say like pessimist. And then I'm going to tell you that's probably not a good one.
I would say a growth mindset.
Growth mindset, absolutely. Because what we do is simple, as in we can explain it simply, but it's not always easy to do. So growth mindset, yes. You want to, now, if you don't necessarily have a growth mindset, if you're naturally an Enneagram 6 and you're naturally skeptical, does that mean you can't become a person with a growth mindset and become a successful diamond leader? No. Brittany Howard's a 6. If Brittany can do it, anybody can. She means it, yes. So, but a growth mindset is huge. Self-motivation, absolutely. If you look at the leaders in Plexus, most of us didn't have uplines that told us what to do. We figured it out. You guys are lucky because you do have it, but also that lets you be a little lazier sometimes because you don't necessarily have to figure it out. And so you don't, sometimes if you don't have to figure it out, you don't have to grow. So that's why it's good to take some initiative. So yeah, be coachable. Oh, I missed integrity, 100%. We're going to talk about the skills on this call, okay? I will help you refine all the skills. But if you don't have integrity, and if the people you're working with don't have integrity, do not pour time into them. If you don't have integrity, get your act right and get with Jesus and get yourself on the right page and have integrity. Do what you say you're going to do and let your yes be yes. You know, don't make things up. Don't lie. Have integrity. But if you notice that people you're trying to help grow don't have integrity, they're not going to make it in the long run. So key is integrity. Have to genuinely care for others. Absolutely. Now, it is okay to make money doing this. How many of you would ever go to your beautician and be annoyed that they want you to pay money for doing your hair? No, right? How many of you would ever go to, let's say that you have a friend that that sells, I don't know, dogs, a friend that their business is selling dogs. Would you expect your friend to give you a free dog just because y'all are friends? No. Like, that's just, you know, you have to know that it is okay to charge people money and make money to do what you're doing. That does not mean that you're not caring for others. Giving people stuff for free in ministry, we've had some issues before with my generous husband, the pastor, giving people all kinds of free help. And then they don't learn how to take care of themselves. Caring for people is not always just giving them things for free, okay? So charging people is absolutely okay, and it does not mean that you're not caring for them, but you do have to care about people. And everybody on this call cares about people, so that's not a problem. But if you're working with somebody who genuinely just does not like people, this is not the industry for them, okay? Be coachable, 100%. Nobody comes into this knowing how to do it 100% perfectly. None of us went to college to be a network marketer. There are not like network marketing master courses out there that people are taking and then joining a network marketing company. Like, that's just not a thing, okay? So you have to be coachable, you have to learn, and you have to be willing to have feedback. And they have to be willing too. If you're trying to work with somebody that's not coachable, they are not going to be your gold leader leg, okay? And willing to follow and teach the system. Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things I wished I had learned years ago was that network marketing is about duplication and scalability. It doesn't matter if what you're doing works, if you're level 1 can't turn around and do the same thing. And if you want to grow gold leader legs, or you want to help somebody go gold, you have to pick a system and follow it and show them. I loved what Erin said on the Alaska call earlier. She said that, is Erin still here? I think Erin just, yeah, there you are. You're in the middle of my screen. Erin, say what you said about your, what you learned with you doing your hard thing this week.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not on there, I said that I had kind of been avoiding, or maybe not even avoiding, it was just one of those things, you know, on our list that I like would always be like, oh, I'll do that next time. I'll do that later. I'll do that next week. And I would just never get around to it. So that thing for me was like going live on Facebook. And I'm not afraid to do it. It's not out of my comfort zone. I just hadn't been doing it. And I had kind of fallen out of the habit of doing it. So I was like, okay, I'm like committing to like doing this again. And so what I did was did a dual live with one of my newest business builders, Megan, and we had like put our heads together to think about, she was 2 people away from going fast start senior silver. And so that was one of the things. It has been a thing that she has been avoiding and scared to do. So I was like, why don't we do it together? I totally believe in you. Here's what the plan is. It's going to be so simple, and I'm going to be right there with you doing it with you. So I did it. And that was the thing that got her 2 more orders to help her go fast start senior silver. And so that showed me that, like, okay, sometimes it's going to take me being like, you know what? I have to be committed to doing all the things so that I can help show other people what things they need to do and then help bring them along, link arms to say, let's go do it together.
Yes, perfect. And that leads me into what we're going to do in this group is we're going to work on the key skills of recruiting, retention, and duplication, and help you guys learn and teach simple systems to have success with those things. And so what one thing I'd like you to do is, oh, is somebody raising their hand, or I don't know, there's a beeping. I don't know what it is. Anyway, okay, I don't know. So I want you to think about who do you have that, maybe it's you. If you're the one that's going for gold, perfect. Then I want you to look at who do you have that is wanting to go senior silver or silver. If you're wanting to go gold, who do you have that's wanting to go senior silver? If you're just at the I'm going senior silver phase, then who do you have that wants to go silver? Okay. And then beyond that, you need to break that down to who do I have that I'm helping share so that maybe they can catch the vision and want to go silver. Now, I have a process where I like to try to get everybody to get one. And if I can figure out a way to get them to get one, then I can have what I call the magic conversation. I want you to always do this. If somebody gets one, then you go back to them and you say, oh my goodness, you just made maybe $40. I don't know what it is this month. It may be more than that because of the double bonuses, but whatever they just made. So it would be, no, they would actually literally make like over $50. So I would say, oh my goodness, you just made $50. If we get 2 more people to order with your referral link, to order a combo with your referral link, you're going to make $300 more. What do you think? Okay. Anybody that, if you can find one way to get people to sign one person, then you can have the magic convo. How many people, if you go to them and they've already signed one, are going to say no when you ask them, what do they think about $350 more? Now, does their willingness to do it mean 100% they can do it? No, but we're going to ask them. And most people, I find, if they will follow a few simple steps, we can find 2 more people to help them go silver, okay? So your goal is going to be ask everyone that joins to post the day they join. This is key. Bridget told me that she has been asking people to post, but she typically asks them when their products arrive. The problem with that is that human beings take action out of feelings, and they're most likely to take an action that is not typical or is a little out of their comfort zone when they're feeling positive emotions. When they order is the moment when they are feeling the most excited and hopeful. That's why they said yes. When you wait, you're just decreasing the likelihood of them saying yes to posting. And so you're thinking nobody will post when I ask them to. but it's really, you're not asking them at the most opportune time. In sales, it's all about taking advantage of the most opportune times, not taking advantage of people. They are still grown adults and they can make whatever choices they want to make. You are not responsible for the choices any grown adults make. Okay. So you don't have to feel like, well, I'm taking advantage of them. I'm manipulating them, whatever. No, you're just being a smart salesperson. You sell a product to make money. Thankfully, it also helps people improve their lives. But even things like cars help people improve their lives. But yours literally can change people's lives. I mean, I guess my husband might say a Cybertruck would change his life, but he's not right. A Cybertruck's not going to change your life, but our products literally have changed people's lives. But we're just being smart and using psychology and sales to have the best chance of them saying yes. So I want you from now on to commit to asking people to post when they order. And I have a message that I put in the Alaska group earlier that I will paste here, that you can use. It's what Bridget's been using roughly, I think. And let me throw it in here. And then we'll throw it in here, that. So that is going to help you have a kickstart on finding those gold leader legs. Because here's how most of you, I want you to think back to how most of you started sharing. I bet somebody asked you to post. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. If you remember, the first time that you posted, did someone ask you to post? I know Vicky asked me to post. If I can remember that 10 years ago. Yeah, Tanya says yes. Did anybody just post out of nowhere because they wanted to make money? Did somebody encourage them to post? Now, Erin may be different because she was in an MLM before. But did anybody actually join Plexus primarily to make money and make it a business? Reagan did? Okay, awesome. Erin, yes, no, kind of?
I didn't necessarily start Plexus to do the business. I only started it because I was trying to help my friend out and then thought she could help my business out. And then I thought eventually I was gonna
Gotcha.
talk her into joining my team on my other company.
Gotcha. See? So,
But I
yeah.
did make a post because she encouraged me to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have just done
Awesome.
it on my own.
Yes. Okay. So that tells you that I would say that 95% of the jewels, most of the people on our team joined for the products and posted and caught the vision because somebody asked them to post. So that's why we have to be doing that. And we have to model that because people are going to do what they see. Okay. So that's why I'm saying that one of the key things I want you to do that's going to help you go gold or create these gold leader legs is to consistently ask everyone to share. Now, here are the other 3 times that you want to ask people to share, because for the most part, asking people to share is one of the best ways to find an accidental business builder and cast vision of what's possible. So when they first order, when their products arrive, or when they're getting started, here's what I tell them about why they need to post when their products come. Because I am not in their kitchen. I am not going to be there to see what they're eating and what they're doing. And changing your habits is hard. You need accountability. And I actually have started telling them, I know you have integrity. And so I know if you post that you're getting started with this, you're going to have integrity and it's going to help you hold yourself accountable because you know that, you told people and you're going to do what you said you did. So I'm like calling out these positive traits to them and saying, I want you to post because I know that that's going to help you hold yourself accountable because you're a person of integrity. That's way different than go post and make a business. They don't want a business at first. That's okay. I don't even really talk about the business potential until after we go silver. I keep it fun and referral bonus and just make a little money until they start to catch some vision, okay? But so I talk about posting the minute they, when they order, when they get their products, to like kind of start holding themselves accountable, to see if they can find any accountability partners, to see if anybody's silently suffering. And then three and four are basically the same. Anytime they have a win. And I always try to take it back to, oh, like they might say they're not snacking as much, or they're not raiding the pantry at night. I would say, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for you. I used to raid the pantry too, and then I would feel so bloated and cranky, and then I was just snapping at my kids. And there are probably so many other mamas out there that feel the same way. And, what if you could throw something out there? What if we make a post like this and see if you could help somebody else that might be silently suffering? I love that verbiage. The silently suffering is in that first message I gave you, and that helps keep the focus off of themselves and put the focus on who they could help. And most people in the world like to help people. Now, here's the other thing about asking them to post. This is crucial. You will see that in the message that I put in the chat for you guys that are on the recording, the first message, you can ask them to post the day they join. It tells them what it looks like. You have to do that. I have people that come to me, they're like, well, so-and-so said no to a shout out. I say, what did you ask? And they show me their message. And I'm like, yeah, do you know why they said no to a shout out? Well, they might've said no to a shout out anyway, but for sure they said no to a shout out because you just asked for a shout out and you didn't show them what it was going to look like. It's key to show them what it's going to look like, because if you don't tell them, their brain's going to go straight to bikini selfies. Bikini before and afters, like, or whatever it is in their mind that is the worst case scenario. Okay. Bathroom scale pics. Like, I don't know what it is, but their brain's going to go straight to that. So don't give their brain a chance to create a story and resistance. Tell them real simply what it would say. I usually just give them back the words they gave me and add in something like, is anybody else looking for something like this? I say something like, I was really skeptical, but I kept seeing my friend Aubrey talk about how this pink drink was helping her with weight loss, energy, and constipation. And I decided to try it, and I was shocked that it tastes good, and I'm already noticing blah, blah, blah. Anyone looking for something like this? And I can give you all that verbiage. But literally, I go ahead and say, what if you just threw up a post that said something like this? And then at the end, I say, what do you think? Okay. So we're at 1:30 already. So we've hit my 30-minute mark. That's what I wanted to teach this week. I can answer a few questions. I want to recap over the core thing this week is look at your organization. Look at look at what you've got. Look at the people that have joined you for Plexus already that are on your team. Do you have anybody that's going for silver, senior silver, or gold? Write those people down. Keep that focus. Okay. If you don't have that, do you have VIPs that are, that you've talked to or that you need to talk to see if they're willing to share? Basically, if a VIP is having great results, your job is to keep coming up with new ideas of ways to get them to share. And if you need help with that, that's what I'm here for. I can always come up with a way to try to ask somebody to share all the time. I just keep coming up. Now, don't ask them that every week. Like maybe once a month. You can use your intuition. Just don't use your fear and your scarcity. Those are two different things. If you're not wanting to ask them because you feel uncomfortable because you feel nervous, that's one thing. If you feel uncomfortable because they just had a pet die and you're asking them to share, that's using your intuition. Be a normal, good human being and have empathy and don't ask them to share when their dog just died. Okay. But if you're just like, I'm scared to ask them to share and there's no good reason, ask them. Okay. So key number one was let's look at the people you have, because we need to identify how many people you have. And if you don't have 4 people going for gold or above, then you need to start looking for more leader legs. You need 4 leader legs. And remember, we talked about what makes a leader leg. Just because you have somebody sharing does not mean they're a leader leg. If they're not coachable and willing to grow, they're not a leader leg, and you can support them, but you need to keep looking. Okay. So my guess is you don't have 4 leader legs. If you had 4 leader legs, Jim B have always told us this, because we're like, we don't have 4 leader legs. And she's like, I know. That's why you're not diamond. That's why you're not 4-star diamond. We're like, okay, good. But, and it was so funny to hear her say that, but it's so true. Like, if we had 4 strong leader legs, we would be 4-star diamond. Okay. So, or we'd be hitting Jewel and not hitting Jewel. We had some of those in the chat, but so identify that. And that's okay if you don't have them. I expect you don't, but that just shows you that you've got to keep looking for them. Okay. And then commit to everybody that joins your team. You ask them to post the day they join, and then you ask them to post, and you get really good at asking them to post at these other times. And then you duplicate that. You give your team verbiage to do exactly that. You train your team. You say, hey, I just sent this to my new person that started the products today. Save this, send it to yours. Oh, hey, I noticed that your person Megan, not Megan. Yeah, Erin, your girl was Megan, right? That went senior silver. I bet she's got people that are going to be getting their products tomorrow. Check that out. Send her the message and say, hey, when, make sure you give them this message, or call them on the phone and then ask them to share the day they start. Tell them this is why, so that they'll be accountable. And you know what? I promise when you first start asking them to share, you're going to feel awkward and you're going to say weird things and you're going to ramble and you're going to embarrass yourself. And that is okay, because you'll get better at it. I didn't get really amazing at asking people to share overnight, but the reason that I'm a lot better at it now is because I've done it so many times. There is no recruiting conversation that I can't figure out a next step for you, ever. Do you know why? Because I've done it so many times. It's now just like my brain can just do it. But I wasn't great at it always. And some of the messages I sent were like, I always joke that some of the first business messages I sent, they're still reading 10 years later because they were so long and ridiculous. Like, oh my gosh. So, but we're going to get good at it together. The key for today, though, is we're going to ask people to share. Okay. And if you sign new people this week, you're going to ask them to share. If your team signs new people this week, they're going to ask them to share. And when they start their products, because we all sign people, I feel like at the end of the month, we're going to ask them to share. And guess what? If they say no, that's okay. I'll teach you one quick thing about if they say no, and then I'll answer questions, and I'll give you your assignment for next week is actually just going to be ask people to share, like at least one. You know how many people you signed that you need to ask to share. But anyway, but then also, if you don't have anybody new that you can ask to share, we can talk about a way to ask an existing happy customer to share. So we'll do that. But here's a tip. When they say no, if you ask them to share on the phone or when they first order and they say, well, I really want my own results first, that is most likely what they're going to say. Be prepared for that and push back one time and just say, hey, I get how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found was that my friends, bodies were different than my body, and they could actually start having results faster than me. And they needed to hear about this now and not once I fixed everything about my health, and then just give them a chance. And if they still say, like, have a response that you have in mind to say to that. It can be something like that. I usually just say, yeah, I totally get that. But what I found was that my mom and I can take the exact same products and we have different results because we have different bodies. And so it doesn't matter what results I have because the products can help them. what do you think? And then I let them talk. And if they say, oh, you're right. That's what I do. Like I push back one time. Then they say, no, I still want to wait. Oh my goodness, no problem. I am so excited for you. Your products will be here in 4 days and we're going to chat then so I can talk to you about how to take the products and get off to a good start. So like push back once and then let it go. I think it's reasonable to push back once because people need help to do something hard. But you don't want to be obnoxious. So I feel like if you push back once, just with like clarification of, yeah, I get that. I felt the same way. But what I found was, what I've learned is something like that. Does that make sense? Do you feel like you could do that? And then shift into just like super excited relationship mode, however you do that. Some of y'all might not say, oh my goodness. Some of y'all just might be like, no problem. I'm so excited for your products to get here. You're going to love them. I can't wait to see what you think about the pink drink. We'll chat in a couple of days when your products get here. Hi, cutie. All right. So that is all for my lesson today. If you're watching the recording, I'm going to take a couple of questions if anybody has questions, but I'm definitely going to try to keep this from going to an hour. So any questions so far? And if you have questions, you can throw them in the chat later. What I would like to do is keep the chat to questions about things that we're learning so that it doesn't just become another chat to stress y'all out. So we'll just, I really want to use it. Just the only reason I have the chat is so that the people watching the recording can have a place to get the recording and ask questions that they could have asked on live if they need to ask live. Because I wanted your people, especially that are not gold yet, to have a place to ask questions, because you guys have a place to ask questions. If you're already gold, we have the gold chat, but your people don't necessarily have a great place to ask questions. And so really it's more for them to be able to ask questions. But if you have questions about what we've talked about, of course, ask them. And then the other thing I want y'all to do is think about what skills you need to get better at. So in recruiting, I'm going to go ahead and well, I'll leave the recording. So if you're listening to the recording, be thinking about your skills too. So in recruiting, there's posting, there's relationship building, there's, getting people to know, like, and trust you. There's figuring out where to even find new friends to add. So that's expanding your network. There is the actual ask messages, and then the recruiting process of, when somebody says they're interested, what do we do now? There's follow-up techniques, so once somebody says they're interested and they're not ready to order, what is the follow-up process? And then there's closing the deal. So actually, like, how to get them from interested to over the hump to order. And then after that, there's customer care, and there's duplication, as in like how to get people to share, how to help people that are sharing, and then how to help people develop their skills and leadership. So those are all kind of things we can talk about. And so what I need to know is, what are those things that y'all feel like you need to focus on the most? And then we can kind of prioritize those and, just tackle a different thing each week and repeat things as necessary, and, for your people too. So y'all can be thinking about that. Is there anything like, right now that you need, that's a skill that you need to get better at? Bye, Tanya. Bye, Brandy. Brandy's gone. Do we know any skills yet, or do we need to think about that? We are quiet today. It's like a Monday.
Yes. How to close it. How to
Okay.
close the deal.
Okay, we can talk more about that. We can talk more about closing the deal for sure. Like, we can talk about all the skills, and we'll just, each week I'm gonna make y'all reiterate and think about who you've got. We won't go into it as in depth, but I want you to think about who you're working with, because we're only gonna develop gold leader legs if we stay focused on it. You're gonna see what you're looking for, and if you're looking for gold leader legs, they're gonna pop out everywhere. And I want you to know, I'm gonna end the recording, but